Welcome to Veil Crossings, where the mirror between worlds has been fractured. I'm your host, Jazz, and today's true story will make you think twice about turning off the lights. I was spending the night at my sister's house, and she gave me her room, and she slept in the room directly across the hall. It was an ordinary night, nothing strange, no spooky vibes. We hadn't watched any scary movies or anything. Nothing that made me think twice before falling asleep. Sometime during the night, I woke up needing to use the bathroom. The bedroom door was only about 3 feet away from the bed, and you could reach it while sitting on the edge of the mattress. This was not a big room at all. But that night, when I stood up and started walking toward the door, I got disoriented quickly because there was nothing there. I took a few steps forward, and then a few more. 5, 7, 10, then 15, and there was nothing. No wall, no door, just empty space. At this point, I was more confused than anything, so I turned around, reaching out with my hands for the bed, and 10 to 15 steps later, I bumped into the mattress again. I found the bed like it was a lifeline and followed the edge of it to the end of it. From there, the dresser should have been maybe 5 feet away, so I decided to walk in that direction. Again, I walked far farther than the space should allow. I was waving my hands out in front of me into empty space, and at some point, my hands grasped what felt like light, airy, sheer fabric flowing. There were no curtains in that room anywhere near the dresser. There was a sort of dreamy feeling to all of it, but it was very real and I was very awake at this point. I backed up immediately, turned around, and rushed back to the bed, which luckily I found easily. I jumped back into bed and curled up, trying to make sense of how a tiny bedroom had suddenly become a huge space. There was no lamp next to the bed, and the light switch was across the room beside the door, wherever that was now. And for some reason, I didn't even think to grab my phone for light. I just sat there, breathing hard, trying to make sense of everything. After a few minutes, maybe longer, I worked up the courage to stand again. And the moment I did, the door was right there, exactly where it had always been. 3 feet from the bed, solid, ordinary, like nothing had happened at all. I turned the light on and went to the bathroom. When I got back, I turned the light off again, and it was really weird because earlier it had been pitch black, but now I could see the faint glow of the outside lights through the blinds. The next morning, I told everyone what I'd experienced. Everyone was fascinated and freaked out, but we all filed it away as another weird thing and moved on. Years later, my sister was reading a book about true fairy stories, and she found a section describing stories just like mine. People suddenly unable to find their way in familiar places at night. Rooms stretching impossibly large. People unable to find their way out of a familiar field. They called it being pixie-led. Supposedly, if this happens, you're supposed to turn a piece of your clothing inside out or bend over and look between your legs to break the spell. But all I know is whatever I walked into, whatever I felt moving in that darkness, it wasn't a dream, and it definitely wasn't just my imagination. Thank you for crossing the veil with me. Until next time, keep your mirrors covered, because you don't know what may have followed you back.